And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Artcasters. Today, we're going to be talking about creative project strategies because we've been talking a lot about personal projects and stuff lately, and I've been thinking a lot. And so I kind of want to pick these guys' brains and maybe maybe put a maybe it's a good cap for now in this an unintentional series. We've talked about everything from what how to know if a project's right all the way to last week on Josh's channel. We talked about even mindset, which um, on its surface doesn't sound like it, but I think a lot of what we brought up does have to do with working on your personal stuff. Um, Actually, no, it totally does. What am I saying? Sorry, it's 90 degrees in here. I can't even think. So anyway, um, my name is Kevin Cross, and if you look down below my name, you'll see I'm using my old URL now. So that just goes to a link tree with all my links to YouTube, Patreon, my skate shop, my regular shop with T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. Because I tried to see if I could resurrect my old website today, and it's gone. The company sold to someone else, and it's gone. And I don't know
It's
how to.
gone. I pulled the thumbnail off.
I know you did that, but I don't know how to find. Well, I don't know how to find the old website, and I don't even know if where it's at on the news. And it's, I mean, it's so old. Anyway, so I just did that. I just did a link tree real quick to little space holder till I can get another website. Anyway, enough about me. Let's go. Who did I go to last time? Let's go, Josh.
Well, you went with Josh because I wasn't here.
oh, that's right. Let's go to Scott.
Okay,
Scott.
Got to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, you're one of those. Yeah. You're one of the co-hosts, I hear.
Yes, I'm back from my special mission, as you guys.
Oh yeah, that means it's a success.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, guys, we're still alive.
Yes,
Scott, you are a hero.
We're talking about all kinds of stuff in the news, but the reason why we're talking about all kinds of different stuff in the news is because Scott's back. Yeah. Success.
Yes.
You don't have to tell us about your mission because we don't want anyone getting hurt or disappeared. So, what you got going on in the world of art?
In the world of art, I am trying to catch up after coming back from my special mission. Just doing some comics and making some cards and all that kind of stuff. But I do have this. It's Young and the Dead. It's a kids versus zombie adventure story. This is my comic. This is the whole thing. It's about, how many pages? I don't know. It's a lot. But this is available at my website at circworks.com. I also have 2 YouTube channels. I have Circworks Art Labs, which is advice, art, and inspiration for indie comic creators. So you can check that out. I also have Retro Art Lab, which is me reverse engineering old collectibles and ephemera and fun stuff that I used to be into when I was a kid, and I'm still into now. So, and then I put a weird spin on it. So check out those 2 channels. And that's pretty much all I got.
Cool. Well, let's just get on to Josh then.
All right.
I don't know why you got spazzy.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, pre-order Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. It's a 230-page graphic novel about Elizabeth Barrett Browning and Robert Browning. They were very famous poets in the Victorian era. She's the person who wrote How Do I Love Thee? Let Me Count the Ways. But also there's this intriguing story where she gets sucked into spiritualism and supernatural seances that were kind of all the rage back in the Victorian era. And through those, almost has her marriage dissolve and fall apart because of a woman named Sophie Eckler, who gets obsessed with Elizabeth and tries to form a bond with her by contacting Elizabeth's dead brother. So it's a very interesting, intriguing, kind of ominous and fun historical fiction book. So check that out. And then also check out 2 Stories and Jacob's Apartment. Those are my 2 graphic novels that are already out. Yeah, that's my stuff.
Cool. All right, so let's talk strategy, guys.
Let's do this.
Yeah. So, where did this come from? It sort of just came from our past few Artcasters episodes, like I was saying, and some of the things that Josh and I talked about last week, and it's kind of life situation. I have a lot of projects that I want to do and am working on, and I think with us talking about all this stuff in the last few episodes, I had some kind of, I guess, I don't know if they're lightning moments. I just kind of tightened up my ship a little bit, because I've been kind of strategizing about doing things differently than I've done in the past, starting at the beginning of this year. But recently I've been still kind of searching for the exact plan, I guess, for lack of a better term. I wouldn't say, maybe that's not the good term, because there's still wiggle room. It's not, it's not something that I'm being strict about or anything like that. But so that made me think. I'm wondering, what kind of strategies do you guys come up with? Because we've talked about, how do you know when you want to do a project? How do you know, if it's something to leave behind or to keep pursuing? So now we're at the point where we're all working on stuff, right? And as of right now, not really anything's ready to come out. I mean, Scott's cards, maybe that's like the short-term project. Do you consider that a project, Scott?
How do you kind of consider? I look at that as in my business, what I have pretty much always done is kind of had multiple streams of income, and some of those will have a lifespan, kind of run their course, and then I've got to, what do I do now? So for a while I was publishing books on Amazon, and that has dwindled. It's kind of, I guess you would compare it to what Josh is doing with t-shirts. For a while that was a big part of his income, but for whatever reason that whole landscape changes. There becomes more company, it becomes more saturated, becomes threadless, kind of becomes something else, all that stuff. And then you get to start looking at other opportunities or other streams of income. So I look at this, I kind of almost look at this as a separate business.
Okay.
Of course it's under CircWorks, and that's something that I'm kind of glad you brought up this topic, because one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is, like, 'cause I'll send my packages up, and they've got branding, and one of my biggest oversights is I didn't put I've got a sticker here. I'll show you. So each one of my package has a sticker with this logo, Wax House. Yeah. And that's kind of what I call that company. So if you go under like Etsy, it'll say Wax House Trading Cards. If you find it under my website, it doesn't really say Wax House anywhere. So I'm trying to think of a way to make this more of a brand underneath CircWorks. And one of the things I should have done is put like circworks.com underneath this, because sometimes this thing goes through the mail and it travels, and people look at this logo and go, oh, that's cool, I wonder what it is. But if it's got the URL, then they can check it out. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to bring in a bunch of people, but it's something. And also anyone that buys off of Etsy, if they see the CircWorks URL, maybe they'll go there and start purchasing for me, which is better for me. In addition to, I need to do a new ad, but in the past I've put ads in the Etsy orders telling people to go to my website. I just need to do an updated one because I went through all those postcards. But yeah, I need to find a way to kind of let people know that what Wax House is, that it's part of the the CircWorks brand, and that's something that I've been thinking about, but I haven't really got to that point yet, because no one really, and I don't even mention like Wax House. I've never really mentioned it too much. I just say the wax packs or the trading cards. So yeah, I look at that as a separate company, kind of. It's CircWorks LLC, whatever, but it's a separate thing. And then I've got other things that, like I said, the publishing, the books, and the comics. And for a while, when I was doing, like, Kevin worked with me when I was doing more. I don't know what I call them corporate comics, for lack of a better.
Yeah, I did something similar to what we did for a software company that was here like
Yeah.
many years ago. But yeah, it was it was advertising, I would say.
Yeah, it's
It was
advertising. Yeah,
it
go.
was
Sorry.
just done in it was just done in comic book form.
Yeah, and this is something, even though I don't and the only reason why I'm not pursuing that as much anymore, because it was lucrative, is I would really want to concentrate on my own book. And as long as I've got enough coming in to kind of keep me afloat, I don't need a lot. If I've got enough to keep me afloat, to allow me to spend time on my comic, and hopefully grow the YouTube channel, so when I do launch it, it actually is profitable.
Yeah.
But I still, I would, I've given this advice before, and if you can find a way to do it, I mean, I think comics are like the best storytelling method there is. And I think it's a great way for a company or a service or nonprofit or whatever to get their message out in the form of comics.
Yeah, especially when it's like a real dry kind of product or something.
And you worked on that project with me. We took something that's kind of some basic, kind of boring, kind of cybersecurity stuff, and we created cool characters around it and did all that stuff to make it fun. But I just think it's a great way to tell stories. And honestly, it pays. Will pay more than probably what Marvel or DC is paying if you're doing it right, and if you're working with, because advertising, companies and these big companies, they've got money, and they're willing to spend more than a Marvel or DC. So as long as you don't mind, we're not there on Spider-Man, but we're trying to make it fun and stuff. But so I always tell people, look into other avenues of comics. So anyway, I kind of got off on a tangent there, but that was another thing. So I usually got 2 or 3 little things going on, and right now the main thing I think is the trading cards. But I probably need to figure out a better way to tie all this stuff together. Like, for instance, like my Patreon, it's under my name, but that's mostly the Retro Art Lab stuff. And my main focus now is more back on the comics and stuff. So I'd like to figure out a way to integrate that. I'll probably end up alienating some people that just came there for that, but I've got to figure out a way to tie that together. So for instance, like when I sometimes people will ask, like, because if anyone's seen my videos, I've got the lab and I've got the green jacket and everything, and they'll like, well, why all that? And the reason why I came up with that, other than I've always been a fan of like mad science and super villains, like James Bond villains and crazy stuff like that, but I just, I was doing all this stuff, and I'm like, what's the underlying theme? What ties all this stuff together? I'm like, okay, I like to draw robots. I like to draw, monsters and aliens and all that kind of stuff. And to me, I'm like, okay, so if you've got this sort of clandestine secret laboratory / factory where maybe there's research going on and they're developing, killer robots, and they're also developing science experiments, and maybe there's a zombie outbreak that originates from this, or maybe, they're experimenting with alien DNA, all this kind of stuff in this secret lab. It kind of ties that stuff all together. So I thought, my tagline used to be robots, aliens, zombies, and other threats to humanity. So that tied all that stuff that I like to do under one kind of brand. Mm-hmm. So I think I need to kind of figure out a way to now integrate this other stuff. So I don't know if it's just a matter of, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if that could be just as simple as going to my website and kind of stating all the different things I do. So when you go there, if you're interested in this is what this is called. If you're interested in this is this. Because I've got my comic workbooks up there. I do sell the wax packs, but I don't have anything that like says that as a brand. So I think just on the homepage, if I say these are the different things that I do, and kind of create little brands, because like a big a big corporation, Procter and Gamble, they'll have Procter and Gamble, and then they'll have their, whatever, I don't know what actually they do, but say Tide, or say Keebler, or whatever's under that umbrella. And that's probably none of those things are
well,
related.
I think it's all either BlackRock.
I know Crest. I think Crest is Procter and Gamble. I don't know. I don't really care about all the big corporations, but I'm just using that example.
No, I know what you're saying. So what I was trying to interrupt with, now I can't even get the words out.
Or I couldn't let you.
No, it's all right. Is what you're talking about has been a big part of what I've been thinking of since last Thursday, the past week. And sort of the background, as you've known, if you've been watching Artcasters, I've probably been bringing this up a lot during our talks about our personal projects and stuff. I had this plan in YouTube for about a year, and it turns out over this past week, I really thought about it because I work a dead end job where I'm in the car from 10 to 12 hours a day. So I have a lot of time to think, and I've been taking a lot of notes this week using the voice app, and just kind of talking to myself, this recorder, about this kind of stuff. How do I tie all this stuff together? Because I have all these projects, and I know some of it has to do with my financial situation of me feeling like I have to do all this stuff. Some of it is, if I'm going to be honest, is that I'm going to be 55 in August. I'm
already there, so
yeah,
I'll welcome you in.
And and it's just, Scott outed me before. It's that ADHD where I need that constant novelty, I guess, which before I found out about that, I realized that, oh, that's perfect why I didn't want to do animation. Because when I first rebooted my channel a couple years ago, at this point, I did bring up, I was like, I was separating too many of my artistic disciplines, and that is where I can use them all. So anyway, I've got these different projects. I've got an animated film that sparked on accident another project or two, and sketchbook. All right, but then I like to do those art and adventure videos, which I've done 2 on YouTube. I've done 4, but two are on YouTube. And then I've got this like philosophy I like to talk about, because I'd rather like kind of talk about being an artist and an artist life than like doing tutorials like maybe I would do, like, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever. And so I was trying to mix them all together, kinda. I know I said on one of the Artcasters that I was working to make them all fit into one bucket at the end of the day, when it's all finished. And while that was true, I wasn't sure exactly on some of the things how I was going to do it. Now, during this week, I just thought of, when Josh and I were talking last week, and we were like, instead of like when you're kind of at your wit's end and you're trying to make things good, right? And we said, I can't remember the exact terminology we came up with, but it was like, instead of trying to do more, maybe do less, right? So that really stuck out as a big thing from Josh and I talking last week for me. And so I was like, yeah, do less. So, and then all of a sudden it was like, I'm out in the country driving around doing these deliveries, and all of a sudden it's like all these dots. It was like, well, I wanted like the sketchbook to start feeding into some of the stuff I still have to do for the animated film, which I haven't done anything in the sketchbook for. It's been all digital. And, if I'm going to play up that my sketchbook is cursed until it's finished, what better way to start filling more pages instead of wasting my time digitally, on certain aspects, right? So those feed into each other. I've just kind of like gone back to embracing. I've always kind of been a like classic horror fan, and so that's part of the big animated film I'm working on. That's part of these music projects that are coming up, which are castaways, like throwaway things from the animated film that I keep coming back to. I'm using these like different riffs and stuff as warm-ups when I'm like, I have to write this soundtrack song for this cartoon. And I'm like, well, I keep playing them. So if everything's all set up, just record them. And eventually you'll have a record or two or three if I do a soundtrack record for the cartoon, stuff like that. There's a character from the cartoon that I just decided to cut because he doesn't make sense. And but I like the character. And so there's an idea that I'm going to draw like 2 or 3, 4 kind of static versions of him, and he'll show up in my videos on occasion, maybe. That's an idea. So that I can hit all those things, like scratch all those itches, but have them all feed into each other. If that makes sense. Like really, not just like they're all horror themed, but that they all fit together, even though they might appear to be in different genres or, delivery mechanisms for the art. Like one's sound, one's visual and sound, something else is just visual, that kind of stuff. And then I came up with kind of a through line. I do have to kind of get to it because I've got some videos I want to finish, maybe, but I'm also thinking about just also taking that advice of just cut something out and just being like, hey, I did a cool thing once. I filmed it. Maybe people aren't going to see it, in order for me to get to all my projects. So my schedule has changed a little bit also, where I'm just going to go from my project to project to project. And that's going to be the cycle of videos I put out. And at the end, they'll all feed in. So like, and at first, and I've mentioned this before too, but it's even more on my mind is that they all either have something to do with my philosophy, my tastes in entertainment, art, music, all of that. So there's the through line, but at the end, if you were to go to like a comic convention and someone gave you like a swag bag, I hate swag. Let's stop saying that. A freebie bag.
A freebie.
I don't know.
I thought you hated the freebies themselves. I'm like, oh, I like that shit.
No, I like that stuff. For some reason, the word swag just gets under my skin. It's stupid. It's a nothing burger kind of thing because I get annoyed at some stuff and I'm like, that is so dumb. No one cares.
Well, now swag is like short for swagger too, right. So it's kind of confusing for kids.
Yeah. See, swagger.
You'd be like, did you get the swag bag? It's like what? It's like putting on the moves, the bag.
Oh no, yeah. Like, see, swagger's a good old rock and roll word, I feel like, but
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, it's just anytime something gets shortened down and then people try to make it sound real cool, it just I don't know. It's just stupid. It's a stupid pet peeve.
I feel that, and not that I'm a sports fan, but and so I probably shouldn't talk about it. But anytime somebody, cuts down the name of a team to like here we've got the Coyotes, so the people call them Yotes, or like I think like my daughter just graduated from Scottsdale Community College, and their mascot is an artichoke, and they call them the Chokes. I mean, just call it what it is. Shortness is something
that is a rad mascot, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point being, say you got a bag of sample stuff from me, okay, and it's like a little bit of music. It's maybe I don't know what would be in there, a DVD or a USB. Maybe you get a USB and it's got a cartoon from me. It's got I don't know, music. It's got something of everything I do. It would all make sense, and to the point where, like you were saying, Scott, is kind of tying your things together and you don't have to tie, like, I'm going like real thematically to the point where um, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now um, lives and comes from the same town. I'll say that. Um, and so that it now is all uh like building the lore, not just like when we had Gary Hodges on and I was talking about doing these certain videos that would build the lore for the animated film. Now they all kind of do, if that makes sense, to tie everything together. And it also makes my flow a lot easier because I've knocked out in my cycle of going through. I got to make this video, then I got to make this video, then I got to make this video. I knocked out 2 of them, and I can yap my big mouth about my creative defiance philosophy while I'm actually doing something.
Yeah.
that furthers my projects. So I expect within the course of a year, there'll be one finished, and I think at least one, if not 2. And then the big animated film, I think that's 3 years out. But in the interim, there's stuff that builds to it that's not in the film, but builds behind the scenes stuff. And, so it's kind of branding, to be crass, I guess.
I use that term. I mean, for lack of a better one.
Yeah. So, for maybe Wax House, you could do like what a Procter and Gamble, again, whatever. For some reason, all I can think of is like Head and Shoulders. But I know a lot of those big companies, they will say like, whatever the brand is, and then underneath it might say a CircWorks product, or you could say something like that, or from the House of CircWorks, or something.
I like that.
Yeah. House of CircWorks. There's something there. I don't think House of CircWorks is the one, but I think there's something close.
Right.
How about the house that Cirque built?
So, So anyway, so that's kind of something I've been thinking about with my strategy, and that's why I wanted to ask you guys. When you were kind of already touching on some of the stuff I was thinking about, Scott, but with that, and so that's what was kind of my question to like both of you too, is like with your comics and the ancillary products. Oh, because also I'm gonna consider me doing like merch, like the skateboards and stuff like that. I'm gonna for my head, I'm gonna consider that a project. So that's in the cycle. But I have in my head, I can't make videos that are commercials. They have to have some kind of takeaway that's not just, look, buy this.
Right. Yeah.
But my job is going nowhere, and it's not changing my life. So I need to do something to change it,
Right.
So I need to think of it more as not just business like, but as a project, because the skateboards are going to be a series right now that I'm working on. There's going to be a bunch of t-shirts that are also a series, not just one-offs. I'm trying to start thinking of stuff like that. And right now it's mostly everything's based on classic horror. And to be honest, that's to try to get people in, because I would like to start phasing a little bit out of that into my own stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even generic horror, but based on classic stuff, but not like, here's my version of Frankenstein again, which, what am I saying? You're always going to get that. But,
well, and the good thing about that, as long as you change it enough, it's all public domain. So it's not, it's not like technically fan art where it's you're going off of somebody else's IP. So that's a plus, because that's always the thing I worry about.
Yeah, but I guess, what I'm thinking, it's like, this thing is more just stuff that's more from my imagination than my take on something.
Yeah.
But to build it, I'm trying to be strategic about it and be like, okay, I know there's a horror scene, and whenever I go to see or take my daughter, like to say Spirit Halloween, I'm always super bummed out when I go to Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
It's all IPs, and it's all, it's all the same thing all the time. Some of the stuff I
Yep.
like, but like Killer Clowns from Outer Space and stuff, but some I just don't care about or I haven't seen, like Terrorizer, or it's all these, like, it's just all the same IPs all the time. And I just kind of miss Halloween being, the spooky holiday that it's not
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of those old, just like the cutouts and the lawn decorations and all that vintage stuff. That stuff
yeah,
is
just
super
like
cool.
spooky stuff. And I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, there was, like, we were talking about, like, these public domain creatures. Some come from old literature, some are just folklore.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to start, at some point. I am having fun doing my take on these old things, but at some point I would like to make it more original, and then hopefully eventually my own IPs, as people start to actually see the stuff coming out, and that's horror based too. So that's
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a strategy, and that's why I say it's crass, because I'm definitely going off of some things that are 200 plus years old, not just the Universal monster movies, but
Yeah. Yeah, to me, and I don't know. I mean, we don't necessarily have to talk about this, but I know we touched. We may have been off the air, and we touched on. We were touching on. I think if we could figure out something for you to put, because it's like when you're an art, the benefit to being an artist is that you can create. I mean, you can create anything. It's just a matter of you create an image. Now, what do you put that on?
yeah.
And right now, with all the technology and all the, there's so many ways to put things on. It's easier than ever to slap something on a coffee mug or
Yeah.
slap something on this or that. But I think the one reason why these wax packs are so successful, it's something I had to figure out how to do to make it look authentic. It's not something, I mean, you could print out a bunch of cards like with your printer and everything and figure out, but the paper's not going to be right. It's not going to match that. You're probably not going to find the bubble gum. You're not going to, there's so many, iterations for me to try to get this exactly the way it is. And it's not something that's easily replicated.
Right.
So if we can figure out something for you that ties into what you're doing, that's not easily that people want, that's not easily replicated. I mean, that's a sweet spot, at least for me in my experience.
Yeah, totally. And the thing, and I
mean,
agree,
the skateboards
because
are kind of there now, but I think there's a step. But you even admitted that the skateboarding, that industry, isn't kind of
surf and skate industry is doing really bad right now. And so that's like, it has to be a labor of love, because also the skate shop costs me money every month to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it says,
when you're
there hasn't, not one thing is sold from it. There's not much up there, but still,
right. Yeah.
But if we're talking like, our brands, I know I shouldn't be upset about that, because it just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's that punk rock.
Sometimes you just have to call something what people are familiar with, because
right.
if you try to
I think it's that
making a new term, it's like, what are you talking about?
I think it's the old punk in me that's like, dude,
Right.
that's a sellout word, even though every decent punk band has a
brand. Yeah.
Has a brand. Anyway, so something skateboarding or something like that, that's on brand for me, but my artistic output, as far as the cartoon, the most of the art I've done for my career has been monster based, if not way more horror when I first started, but so they work together as like, yeah, Kevin's a skate punk, punk and metal have that horror kind of thing to it, and so it's like, yeah, those work, but I want something that something that I can do. And right now, those are the things I can do without paying, other than the upkeep I have to pay every month for the skate shop, which isn't very much. So, but it's, it all adds up.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I've been thinking about that. So I've been thinking about all our conversations we've had over the past few weeks about these projects, and right now I don't have a printer. I don't have money. I don't have money for supplies. So I just got to start where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the main thing, I think probably something, even though this is probably the most easily this thing is, anyone can replicate this, but I mean, even starting off as simple as stickers. I mean, I think starting off cool designs, if you can tap into some kind of vibe or something that people, it's just something that everyone, tons of people like Universal Monsters, but if there's some kind of I don't know, tagline or some kind of way people can identify it more, like,
well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
All right, coming from a band background, tell me what you think about this.
Yeah.
Part of that was, you're in it to play the music, you're in it to play the shows. I'm not going to be playing shows unless I can get a backup band or, that kind of stuff. I'm not planning any big tours, nothing like that. But, back in the day, you're in it for the music. You put your record out, you're playing your shows. Now you got to go on tour. Now you got to come up with merch. That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have shirts. You got to have, like, koozies was a thing for a while.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And so I come from that in a bit. So, okay, do a t-shirt for that. Do a thing that ties into that. So I do have a name for the merch I'm doing, that's at least on the regular store site, that's shirts and stuff like that, and it's based on one of these side project bands that is from the music that didn't fit for the bigger cartoon. So now there's music tie-in. And so I don't know, it might sound really clumsy, but it's just so that Paul Pate says you could just focus on one thing. No.
Yeah.
No.
We've already established.
I think we've already established this a while ago. No.
Yeah. When you have ADHD, it's not what you can't concentrate on one.
Yeah, thing. And it's the reason why there's a strategy to get things done. It's not going to get done tomorrow, but at least things are making a headway. So anyway, so there's tie-in there, and music fans will buy the shirt or the record that they can still listen to for free on Spotify. They'll buy the vinyl, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
have you thought, because I mean, I would love to, and that's part of my strategy is to get more people to buy the stuff off my website. But I sell way more on Etsy. So, and Etsy doesn't cost. I mean, there's a
fee though, right?
There's some minor fees, but it's like a listing fees and stuff like that.
It's like 20 cents or something. It's not crazy.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the more you sell, the more fees you pay and the more listings you put up. But I mean, it's relatively inexpensive and it's a platform where people can discover you, as long as if you got a cool store. And I mean, I know, like, we haven't had Gaz on a while, but he sells, I think he does a decent amount of his kaiju prints just because he has so many of them, and he's selling like Godzilla stuff and Power Ranger stuff and all that kind of stuff. And he's got a decent amount of sales. And people, Kevin, that are successful selling. I don't know if it's on Etsy, but you had mentioned somebody that is got a niche product. So I think if you can niche the monster thing down a little more, or
I don't know how much I'm getting to niche.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's to me, it's more like yeah, you just got to tie it into some kind of an attitude or something that people can really gravitate
Well,
to and
that's what
relate
I'm.
to,
That's
just beyond cool art.
right, and that's kind of what I'm saying is tying all this stuff together. You know, so yeah, but I see what you're saying, but yeah, I think I'm saying maybe the same thing. I'm just clumsier about it. I don't know.
Right. No, I mean,
but I haven't
get
gotten
it.
it to work yet, but it's still relatively all new, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I totally agree. So yeah. So this monster stuff is supposed to be tied in, but I don't want to spend a year to make it all and then restart YouTube again to show that I've been doing work. You know what I mean? Because I want to keep making movies. Yes, I want to keep making movies. I want to keep making the YouTube videos if they're still fun. And I know that can be part of your art strategy, and or it can be. I guess I think we're trying to make it part of it. To some success, but mostly not. So I think I gotta keep doing. I think I need to be creating in public for me to finish. Do you know what I'm saying? For one thing, because it gives me that drive, I guess, to like work when I don't feel like it, which then is also kind of part of the strategy, because the next thing you know, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to just do 20 minutes. Next thing you know, 2 hours has gone by and you don't want to stop,
Yeah.
So that's just that's a personal strategy that I think I've always had, not just now. There's always been these like ways to kind of fool myself, and as an artist, we've got to show our stuff, Otherwise, you got a cool hobby, and I like hobbies, but I would like to stop delivering McDonald's and actually do something I enjoy with my life. So, anyway, did I just kill the conversation?
No.
Okay.
We're listening.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I think it sounds like when I say it out loud, it sounds like I'm doing a lot, but it doesn't feel like it, to be honest. Like today, I did a bunch of sketchbook stuff. I did some music, and I worked on the animated film all today. I mean, I took the day off from delivering because I haven't had a day off in forever. And
good for you, man. That's mental health's important.
And it was, yeah, I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like next week is going to be real difficult now, but, and yeah, you need a break from time to time. And I've been working too much, and it's just not making it. So that's why I'm like really,
well, this is going to be one of those things where when you get when it starts to hit, you can go back and tell everybody, yeah, I was driving around delivering food and nothing was happening. Then then I refocused everything, and here I am. So,
well, I keep trying to tell myself, and I think I might have said this on a video or maybe in Artcasters before, is I'm trying to make it where like a year from now, I'm going to be like, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, there's a few things like that I've struggled with that just never really popped off, and I'm like, and then but you never know what is gonna be successful.
That's true. But I think this is like this year is I mean, I've always had like plans, right? And then when I was a full-time illustrator or designer, I would do like commissions or a t-shirt here and there, just in, if like a bill goes too high or something like that. And then think in the back of my head, man, this is what I want to do. I don't want to work for clients. I don't want to just work on other people's things all the time. I just want to switch to working on my own stuff. But someday I'll get there. But then I would only do like little things for me, for myself. You know what I mean? And now with my situation, it's like, well, you're not getting hired anyway. What are you waiting for? If you fail, it's just another failure. But
Sure.
Razor laser videos. Razor laser is fun to say. I see lots of artists doing monthly mail club stuff.
Is that Holly? I wonder if that's Holly.
That
might be Holly.
If it's Holly, let us know. I see lots of artists doing monthly mail club stuff. So something recurring seems more cost effective for new projects. That's something that was an idea with the Mini Comics Dump Truck, which was a Mini Comics trading club that we did years and years ago, many years ago. And that's advice I've heard before, and I've thought about, like, can I do a patch or something? It would have to be something that doesn't take too much away from the other projects, because I ran up against that a long time ago with Patreon, trying to do too much to the point where now it's just like, do you like what I do? Please, support me, and I'll, I can't do much more than I'm doing. But yeah, that is something to think about for sure.
Yeah, I mean the subscription model, everything's going subscription. Obviously, it works. I mean, that's like, yeah. I mean, I think you need to find enough people to begin with that are going to want to sign up for something like that. But yeah. I mean, something like that could work with like the wax packs, but sign up, and every month or whatever you get a blind box. I don't know. Maybe that's something I should look into. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, because you've got a lot of the work done already.
Yeah.
So that might be kind of cool.
But I think, then I think, well, people probably just want to buy the ones they like. Want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't like Rocky movies. I want the Kiss Meets Family Work.
Right.
Actually, a blind box with the wax packs is not a bad idea, though.
I do have a listing on my Etsy, but there's kind of an ulterior motive for it. So there is a listing on my Etsy that says, it's got a big question mark and it says mystery pack. But the only reason that's really there for is I can't ship internationally through my website. And that's the only place where I sell certain cards, because if there's certain companies that are really litigious or certain bands, I don't want to list them on Etsy. So if somebody comes to me internationally like, oh, I want this certain pack, but you don't have it on your Etsy, I can just say, go get this mystery pack, and that's what I'll ship to you. And it's been up there, and no one yet has clicked on it just to I'll just see what I get. That hasn't happened yet. So,
but I'm just saying, like, if you did a subscription, kind of like a blind box, where it's like you get.
Well, I think if I add some extras to it, like even like, because I also, anytime I ship an order, I put like random cards, and just to show people some other stuff that I sell. But I could add additional stickers, so it's not. I mean, it's the more I think about it, the more I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. But it's probably going to be something that it'll have to wait till I get to it, because
there's also a lot of good ideas out there, and there's a little bit of time. So it's like, for me, it's like more of like trying to, with personal projects, a lot of it's like budgeting my time and trying to think like, what's the most important thing for me, because it's like if I get lost in the weeds, like I may never have another book come out, and it's but it's also interesting, because I have been thinking about things like I mentioned to you guys, like I've been enjoying painting lately. And I'm like, oh man, do I want to do that though? Like do a solo show or something somewhere and have to go through that whole like hell of like breaking into that industry? Like it's all it's all kind of interesting. It's like every step you take as an artist is like a potential new marketing challenge, you know?
Yeah, and that's what sucks too when you've been doing it for so long, like we have.
Yeah.
Like
You want to just do the art, which is what we wanted to do the whole time.
yeah, and then with AI or the bad clients we might have had that didn't pay well, or whatever, you get a little jaded too.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm ready to do my thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to. It is Holly Razor Laser, and Holly says if you use Spotify, they have a reoccurring payment thing. I don't know. I haven't tried it out yet. The problem with Shopify is
Shopify. Yeah.
What did I say? Spotify?
I think you said Spotify.
Yeah. So I meant
I was like, does Spotify do that?
I meant Shopify.
Yeah.
Shopify has fees. However, if I can get my 2 stores something to start paying, then I can go to Shopify and Shopify will combine them into one. So
yeah.
I have baby steps, but there's fees. There are fees that have stopped me from using it.
Yeah, I don't have Shopify. I have Squarespace, and I think Squarespace has that same. I can do subscriptions, and I can do all that kind of stuff. But certain things it gets more expensive, at least with Squarespace. Like for a while, I was doing like a Printful integration, so I could sell T-shirts and stuff on there.
Yeah,
but that is like another step up. And at the time I couldn't really afford it. And now I probably could, but I don't really want to deal with T-shirts right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like those Squarespace and Shopify, they can get pricey if you're just, that was why my original suggestion was Etsy. Because I think that's the most entry level point to take advantage if you can get in there. Because I've had an Etsy store for a long time, and I was just selling my art, and it didn't do well. As soon as I kind of rebranded it, it took a little while for things to catch on and people doing searches. And once that started to happen, it just kind of steamrolled, and now it just keeps kind of growing. So to me, as long as you've got something something sort of searchable that people are looking for, or like again in this instance with the wax pack, something that's unique that no one really else offers, because I don't know if I said this online, but my now fiance and I are planning a wedding, and we were looking for like drink stirrers for like a signature drink. So we went on Etsy. And there's like so many different people doing it, because if they're using the kind of the same equipment. And I assume Holly probably runs it because she does the laser cutting stuff with the I forgot what the name of that Glowforge. I think that's what it's called. Which there is, a lot of people can get a handle of that. So you have to come up with unique things that no one else is doing. But it's kind of like, people, however they print on the little acrylic things. I mean, so many different people are just different versions of it. So then it becomes a kind of a race to the bottom. Like, okay, these all look similar. So now the only way to compete is on price. And that's when you start, with something like the wax packs, I don't have to compete on price because no one else really does them, So, yeah. But anyway, I think
Scott, what you might be getting to with like the thing you were talking to Kevin about is like the DIY nature of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I think, and the fact that it's very distinctly DIY. Like it's not like, even if you get a Cricut or like one of these like cutting machines, there's like a kind of faux DIY, but it looks like you were saying, kind of like it's like a race to the bottom in pricing. So yeah, finding a niche like that where it's something DIY with your own art, I think is kind of like, to me, I think that's the brilliance of the wax packs thing, right? Because these are like they're like little art pieces, you know,
Right,
they're like
yeah.
hand assembled, and they're very unique, and they look professional, but they're very DIY. And I think there's like an appeal there. So I do get what you were talking to with Kevin, where it's like, hey, if you could find
Yeah, there's got to be
something
something like that,
that
that monsters
but
and that
that's
type of, yeah, that fit.
easier said than done too,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you're thinking of it, gives you something to think about, you
Yeah.
know. So
Well, yeah, and that's also, yeah, I think that's, yeah, that's, what am I trying to, what are the words? Now it's 95 degrees in here. I can't think. It's so damn hot in this room at this time of year.
Scott and I are both like a 95. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but it's like,
we're in the hundreds over here. Like, what are you talking
yeah,
about?
but you got a fan.
That's
You
true.
might have air conditioning inside.
yeah,
I
I've
don't
got a
have
fan
either.
and AC right now.
That's
So,
Yeah,
true.
and
Yeah.
it gets stuffy in this house. It's anyway. So my thoughts. Yeah, yeah, when you brought this up to me before, Scott, about that, it's still been on my mind. So my you know, my mind's working on it. I just haven't found
Yeah.
the right thing yet.
Right.
And so that's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue with what I can do right now.
Yeah.
There's something I was gonna say though. Oh, I kind of wanted to hit on some stuff that Josh was talking about, like with like wanting to paint and stuff. Like, what do you do with that kind of stuff? Is like, and Josh has put out records, his own albums that he's made at home, you know, and you know, so what's the reason why you do that stuff? Because you love it, right?
Yeah.
All the bands that had any kind of success in, there was no goal of making it. That was the least. It was for the pure joy of it.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a whole lot of strategy to it, I guess, other than that. But so maybe because trying to come up with strategy, that means I'm gonna fail. But
well, I think
but
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I was saying I don't think being strategic is bad. Like, for instance, like I'm doing this stupid duck comic.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that actually.
And I think over the summer I'm probably going to kickstart it. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm a little nervous because that'll be my first Kickstarter. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known so many people who've been successful at theirs. I'm just dreading the day of like it doesn't fund, and then I feel like a loser. But at the same time, like I also realize, like, so what? Like, if it doesn't fund, it's just where it was before. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now it's a zine or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a couple things. Like, I might try to convince my writer's rep to pitch it around. I don't think she will. But that I already have kind of a cooking a little bit in my head. But to me, the priority on that is get it done, so I have a product first.
Mm-hmm.
And then and in a similar way, like I do think there is a thing, like Jim talked about it. Paul was actually mentioning like why he works on one thing. I'm a similar way to Paul, where I have to like I hyper focus on like one thing, probably like to a detriment. So doing two right now is an interesting experiment for me. But I do think like the thing Jim talked about, like honoring the work and doing the work, I think is important. I think that's the fundamental, most important thing. And then the other stuff should be cooking along with it. But if it's delaying it, I think it could potentially be distracting from it. So it's like, it's a hard balance. To me, like the key thing is just making the thing, because we've all made products for other people that sold a lot and maybe paid us better than a lot of the personal projects we've done. And a lot of those things are, you know, literally filling junk piles right now, and I don't care about them. You know, I mean, I art directed for 10 years making a bunch of those things, and so it's like I don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. So it's like it's trying to find a like I think I envy what you guys are talking about, because that's one of my weaknesses, is like branding and stuff like that, and then cohesiveness too, because I switch what I do a lot, and so it's like I'm not, I don't know, I'll do like slice of life, and then I'll do like a weird horror parody, or like I've always kind of bounced around doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see how like having a singular brand is really helpful. I think I told you guys about the guy Brian, who I used to know in Portland, who started Butts on Things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's
I've
like
seen that all over. Yeah,
that's ingenious, and that's just him having fun initially
Yeah.
with a bit, but being really consistent with it and branding it. So I do see the value of it, but it's like it's interesting that doesn't cross my mind as much as maybe it should. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we all work differently.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that. So, if and that's, I think that's fine. Holly Razor Laser says our toys would go hard. I love seeing people make those. I want to make action figures.
Yeah,
of my characters from my film that's coming up, and from
that would be amazing,
from some of the throwaway characters that I'm gonna toying with, just having like show up as like little sidekicks and as bits in my videos now. That part's still in the works, but I don't want to throw these characters away. And that's where I go. Like, Josh, I think what you're doing is great. And so that was going to be part of my question to you also, with the duck comic. What's the strategy with that? Would you ask, your rep or a publisher that you worked with, or and you kind of hit on that. I think for me, why I'm messed up like this is because while I'm working on something, I've, over the past couple years, maybe about 2 years, I've gotten kind of ruthless with myself on editing. Like, if I like something, I know it wasn't just this one teacher I had. I know lots of people said this, but this one teacher said it all the time that stuck with me when I was in art school. You would do something awesome, but it wasn't the right thing. Like, maybe you did an awesome hand pose, but the rest of the drawing sucked.
Yeah.
And so you try to, you're in art school, so you're trying to fix the rest of the drawing, and she'd like, just start over. You'd be like, oh, but this hand pose, it took me forever to get. She'd be like, sometimes you got to kill your babies.
Yep, kill your babies. I've heard that a million times.
Yeah, so I've gotten really good at that and really ruthless with that. But the problem with that is, if I'm killing something that is one of the babies, and it just so happens that I'm like with this music stuff, I'm like, I know how to make music, and I could put out a record probably way faster than I can finish this cartoon. So why don't I work on them all together?
Yeah, I think that's great.
And whatever comes out first, which is obviously going to be an album, because there's not a ton of drawing other than like album art and stuff. But I
mean, dude, like think about like Jamie Hewlett and Gorillas. It's like that whole thing technically could have been a comic, and it became like a whole cartoon band,
right?
And it's like that could be any merchandise, and again, I think Hewlett's a good example, like with like Tank Girl and stuff, where it's like the guy builds properties that he can market in any way. And I do actually think that's smart, especially with what you're doing for your animation. I think a lot of those things, like they could be toys, they could be, you could have vinyl for your music, like you could have all sorts of stuff,
Yeah, and I think the vinyl, because I do want vinyl, that will be my first Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
We've been talking about doing Kickstarter since it came out.
Like, no, we have, like, both of us
60 years later.
Yeah, because back in the day, it's like that's something you'd have to get a grant for, like it just wasn't a thing. So it's kind of cool that exists. I think it would be fun to mess with. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do with Kickstarter. I'd like to do a board game at some point. I think that would be really fun to like manufacture a board game. I think the cost wouldn't actually be that extreme. Cards would be great, like, you know, collectible card, like a card game, like doing your own card deck and stuff. Like, I think there's all sorts of avenues for potentially making stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Scott initially wanted to do, you know, the creepy foods, and I think we were like, dude, just kickstart it, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool that worked, you know, because it's like that's kind of a proof of concept that you can kind of take a crazy idea, you know. Heck, maybe you guys could do your sugar kooks as an actual cereal, except then you have to deal with the FDA. But you know,
I would like to do more sugar kooks because that was fun.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if you could like make a toy of it and then kickstart that like a plush or something.
yeah, see, I'd love to have a like an action figure, like of the character with a surfboard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that would be so great. A little figurine.
Yeah, like you know, it doesn't. I mean, I love the Kenner stuff because, you know, growing up Star Wars in the 70s and 80s, and I like the reaction figures. But so it doesn't have to be like that. But I'm talking like, you know, whatever that material is that they're using for action figures nowadays, and
Yeah,
some kind of smallish like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be that Kenner style or anything, but yeah.
Well, even those little figures that they have of, I mean, now Funko and stuff will probably make them, but they used to have all the cereal mascots, just those little figures back in the day that you could get. Like I got this little Frankenstein guy, but something like this, but Chihu, you know?
Yeah. I know that if you go to, and I found this out because when we were doing our Sugar Kooks collaboration, and I was looking at like some of the stuff I wanted, and an action figure was something that came up, and that was during the one where I made the Tropical Sugar Kook skateboard graphics, and I found that there's and maybe it is even reaction, but there's like Smack 'em, the frog, and
yeah. Oh, yeah, like the action figures?
Yeah.
They're actually posable. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are cool.
Yeah.
That's
I think
amazing.
like, yeah, Dig 'em Smack and Sugar Bear. And
you know, Dave Baker was doing like a self-published book called Halloween Boy. Like he did like 8 issues or something. I think it was a script he had written that got like rejected. So he just changed the character to Halloween Boy and just started self-publishing them and stuff. And then like one of those indie toy companies reached out to him, and now they make like a little Halloween Boy figure. It's like the coolest thing.
That's cool. Yeah, we need to get Dave back on.
We should.
I just was watching YouTube videos, and I came across he's got like a new channel that he does with some other guy where they just
the Mystery Treehouse.
Yeah. I
saw that, and I was like, I know that guy from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, we used to go to Cantor's when I was down there.
Yeah, and he's been doing that podcast with that guy for a couple of years, but it's like it's cool that they're building YouTube with it and stuff. But I think that's a good example too, where it's like just put it out and then see where it goes, you know, and like just publish the thing, you know, get it out there and hustle, you know, like
and I hope that it doesn't come across because it's not what I've meant either, because about strategizing this stuff, because it is about you got to do the main thing and love the main thing.
Yeah.
You know,
but how do you fund the main thing?
And that is the thing right now with me, especially, you know, like I said, admittedly, my age, my financial situation right now, and because of it, where my life is right now, it's not enjoyable. And I want to make things, you know, like I used to. I mean, I'm still making stuff, but I want to do something with it, you know, not just, I mean, hobbies are fine, but you know, I come from many, many years of being a professional and having a lot of fun with personal projects and things,
Yeah.
and mostly it's been music that's done anything for me, but I'm not trying to like recreate a past more
Oh,
than
Kevin,
as much as
wait,
I'm
wait,
trying
wait.
to make something new.
Because we're
But
spitballing a little bit too.
yeah,
I was just thinking, because this is something I've wanted to, because I used to at LCAD, I had to teach like a packaging class, right? Where it taught kids how to deal with like dye lines and bleeds and stuff like that, right?
right,
And
yeah,
packaging. But for their final project, I'd have them like make all the assets for a kit for a game board, right? They had to design their own functional game, do all the different like the cards, the board, everything. And then they had to assemble it, like so they had to do a mock-up of the actual thing. Um, I ever since teaching that project and then Kickstarter becoming huge, I've always in the back of my head been like, I should do a board game. Like it would be fun. I've illustrated them for like, companies and stuff. I've never made my own. And it dawned on me, Kevin, you should make a tie-in board game with
um,
your plot where it's like it's the western town.
yeah.
And I'm just saying, like that could be really cool. It's a
I
Kickstarter.
think that would be, yeah, I think that would be really fun. Yeah, I think for my bandwidth right now, that would have to be
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
that would have to be like way down the road. Like the thing is done,
Yeah,
like the cartoon is done, and I'm now starting to like, oh, hopefully there's some
yeah,
fans, and I'm now like, okay, what's the next thing? Because I already have in my head what the sequel and the threequel is,
yeah,
and I think I brought it up in here before, and that's it. I'm not going to
yeah,
go franchise Hollywood with it. Just three things. But if the first one doesn't work out, it's fine on its own. But
yeah.
a game would be fun because one of the other ideas I have does tie into that town. It's not, you know,
Well,
so
and again, like a basic board game, you kind of take the template of any game that exists and then just modify it slightly, for like the underpinnings of how the game works. Um,
yeah,
but that would be a lot of assets to build, and you're right. Like it'd be easier if you have all those assets.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's I think that's a great idea for down the road though, because
yeah.
that sounds fun.
Well, because like people pay decent amounts for it, and then if you think about the printing costs of a game, it's actually not crazy. Like because you pretty much print a box, you print a giant poster that you basically mount on board, right? And then it's just like cards
Yeah,
and possibly pieces, but it's like that. The cost would be like under $10 to like manufacture, and
yeah,
it's like you know, you can sell board games for like custom board games for like $80, which is kind of crazy.
yeah. That yeah. That needs it for.
I shouldn't give you more ideas.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, it's getting stuck in my head that right now.
Yeah.
it yeah, it's a great idea. It needs to be on the back burner though for me right now. That's it.
But anyhow, that's something I might I don't know. I mean, summer's pretty short, but I have stuff I want to do. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what I get to.
Um.
But okay, so I guess circling back to the creative projects thing, like part of why I may not do that this summer though is like that kind of thing of like first and foremost it's the book.
Right.
And it's like that kind of has to get done for any of this other stuff to happen.
Right.
Um yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Right. So for your duck comic, um, do you have like a guess of when it'll come? You might be finished. I'm not going to say when it's totally finished, but
I'll probably finish this summer. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's like it's going to be a floppy.
Right.
Um, so we'll see. If I kickstart it, I'd want to kickstart it so it could be something like a hardcover or something, even if it's like 24 pages. I don't know,
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
but we'll see. We'll see if there's even a market for it. On the Kickstarter, it would be fun to have like some funny things like Duck Cop, action figures or something ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's sticking with me the most. And there's something it's so hard for me to shut up sometimes. But there's there's something I'll have to tell you guys about. I'll make it public later, so I'm not hiding it from everybody. But yeah, just I don't know. Action figures are stuck in my head as ancillary things right now for me.
Yeah, I've even
way
gone down that rabbit hole of like looking at because you can get like resin casts and stuff.
Yep.
And like do your own. And so I've definitely gone down that rabbit hole before. Because I think that would be fun. And that's DIY,
Yeah, so there's a channel also, but again, it does cost money. It's a guy. His channel is Steady Crafting.
Oh yeah,
and he's a
puppet.
His character is like an old Mississippi puppet.
Oh, I love it.
And but he loves action figures and he makes his own music. See, that's another tie-in there is part of these other songs that I'm working on for that have come from my cartoon that aren't going to be in it. I'm like, well, those have lyrics in them. I just take the lyrics out and now I have my own music for my YouTube channel that no one can have, because I hate when I watch a YouTube channel and I think I found the music that no one's paying attention to and I go, damn it, I use all those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the craft, he's got tons of stuff on how to DIY these action figures, make your own molds and things like that. And he's gotten popular enough that he gets people to machine them now and stuff like that, and he's got people helping him out and stuff. But that's something I've been thinking about since the pandemic is when I discovered him. I'm like, yeah, I just want to make a figure,
Oh,
and so
it scares me.
I don't have time for it, and I don't have the money to buy the silicone or silicone or whatever, or depending on what kind. There's several ways to make them, different things. But again, it's like the game. I'm like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
But then that becomes the project instead of the project that it should be,
Yeah. No, it's really super addictive, that idea too. Like, we had Oksana on. Do you remember Oksana, Scott? Like, she was like a costume artist.
Yeah.
She's doing these custom dolls, like that are 3D printed. Like she's 3D printing them, 3D modeling them, and then they're like these artisanal like dolls, and they're incredible. And she'll like airbrush them and do all these details and stuff. Every time I see her working on those, I'm like, if I opened up the 3D modeling and 3D printing rabbit hole, I may never make art again. Like I think I just.
Well, that's art.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it's like the way I feel about animation too, where it's like I dipped into it for a second and it felt so good I had to like pull back, because I was like, I could see myself just being an animator, and then having to do that, and then having, I don't know, there's too many things, guys. There's too many things.
Yeah.
Too many interesting things. It's why I get frustrated by creatives who have like creative block or whatever. Because
I don't understand.
No, you have all the time and there's a million things. Pick one. Like there's so many cool things.
Yeah. The creative block for me means I'm not sure which one I feel like doing right now.
yeah, that's the problem, or like just trying to stick with one enough to get it done, because there's just so many fun projects and so many things I'd love to paint and draw.
I do envy people who, I don't know, can stick to one thing and not I don't know, not have to worry about the stupid shit I put myself through.
Yeah, it's tough though, because it's like, Scott said it before too. Like that in itself can be a superpower though. you know, because like a good example of it is like Scott and the Wax House thing. I don't think I could have done what Scott did with that idea,
No, I couldn't have done it.
and also put out Young and the Dead. You know what I mean? The fact that Scott's able to kind of do all the things is kind of a superpower. You know,
It just takes a lot longer because
Yeah.
I mean, I watch you and just banging out these pages on your on two different comics that simultaneously, and I'm like, geez, I wish I was further along on my comic. Yeah.
So, kind of what we're talking about with Josh and his duck comic when it's done. When do you have a strategy for when you finish your hip hop comic? Like how?
Well, I mean, part of the
like
strategy,
because I know
Yeah.
right now you just want to finish it, but
yeah, I mean, part of the strategy is to really grow my presence on YouTube and build awareness about the comic, and as you know, and as I already show like some of the preliminary stuff I'm working on, you know, while I'm doing my videos. But when I get to the point where I'm going to actually be drawing pages, I'll start live streaming, kind of like what Josh does, and hopefully just build awareness around this, this book, so that when I go to Kickstart it, it'll be, there'll just be a big demand, and just based on just initial, just whenever I mention, if you're at all have any interest in hip hop at all, or kaiju or any of this kind of that stuff, it seems like it strikes a chord with people. So I'm hoping, continue, just making these videos, putting out a video every month and showing what I'm doing, and then do live streams and all that stuff. And that also, and then I want to try to, I want to kind of go back and kind of look at and kind of reverse engineer some of the stuff that Ed Piskor was doing with Hip Hop Family Tree, as far as who he was, because he was on like that Boing Boing network, which I'm pretty sure probably doesn't exist anymore, but there's people that he connected with and reached out to that were into hip hop, and if I can make inroads in those type of connections and stuff, and let those people kind of know what I'm doing, and then spread the word and stuff like that. I mean, that's part of the plan. I haven't really done too much on that yet, but that type of thing,
Right.
Yeah, I think there's so much marketability to that, Scott. Like, it's just it's going to be really interesting.
And I may even when I get, because I think I'd have to have like at least 4 issues done or whatever, but I may even like try to approach Image with it or something like that, because I mean that's pretty good, distribution there, and I think I would think it's something that they might be interested in.
Yeah, it sounds like an Image book for sure.
But we'll see. It would have to be somebody that lets me maintain, all my rights. It couldn't be like Dark Horse kind of, in some stuff they do, but
they just got rid of their owner too, so who knows where they're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got to get Rick on the show for you to talk to him about that then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nowhere even near that, but yeah, that's
maybe you could let something named towards, because one of his Image properties was made into a TV show that I did soundtrack music for.
Yeah.
And man, that show was really good. It's too bad the pandemic happened. It got too expensive to produce.
Well, he's got a bunch of other successful things that I'm sure it won't be the.
Yeah, but he does stuff with Image, so
I mean, and gets to maintain his trademark and copyright, and I think he's even at the point, from what little I know about his career, that he's got his own imprint under Image that's also he is control over. So I'm not anywhere. I'm not. That's
well, I know. I'm just saying he wasn't either.
Right. Yeah. But Image is probably the only thing that I from what I understand, it's probably the best deal in comics you're going to get, because you're going to,
Yeah, if you're not going to go full self-publishing, it does seem like
right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but I guess I was also asking because I don't remember now exactly what was said, but and we might have just been joking because you were talking about some music or something, and Josh and I were both like, "Well, we'll help you with that."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I was thinking, would part of the strategy and
Oh,
the tie-in, would I wanted to know what you're thinking about when you publish, but also like is there anything around it? Any merch, any kind of like maybe music, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely like to tie in. I'd like to create some sort of musical project around it. It would have to be. I would have to. Whereas the comic, I want to kind of touch mostly everything about it. There's a chance I might hire a colorist, but for the most part, I want the art, at least for the first run, to be me. And if it's successful, then I'm happy kind of getting some other creators involved to kind of take the story, but that's a ways away. But as far as the musical stuff, that's something I need to rely on other people for.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd like to write like lyrics and stuff, but beyond that, I'd like to tie it into some kind of a musical thing. It'd be cool to have a vinyl record. I want there to be a super deluxe version of this thing that has, all the back matter and all that kind of stuff, and tie in things. When you're talking about toys, I would love to have like the big Shogun Warrior type thing.
Oh, dude, yeah,
mechs with the firing rockets and stuff. That's like, I would love to have that. So yeah, there's so many things like, and just like going to Designer Con and seeing some of the stuff before. This guy here, I bought this guy at Designer Con. There's so much cool stuff like this over there, and I think once I get the property, this is some of the stuff that I might be able to figure out how to make and market on my own just by doing shows like Designer Con or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's really marketable as far as toys and all that kind of stuff. I think, and it's the kind of thing where it's going to look cool just on its own, even if you don't know it's a comic or whatever, that people just look, because I don't know what this is from, it's just, as far as I know, it doesn't even have a any kind of story behind it, but it looks cool. So.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just always thinking about all that kind of stuff because of, when we grew up.
Yeah.
All the toys and like all the cartoons for a while there, even though it was so formulaic, it was like, it was a teenage band solving a mystery. In this episode, or in this version of it, it's a shark that sounds like Curly from Three Stooges playing drums. In this one, it's a car that helps solve the mysteries. There's always
Buggy. What was Speed Buggy? Yeah,
Speed Buggy and Jabberjaw is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, Jim is asking, "Where's the Artcasters merch?"
Artcasters.
Sorry.
Artcasters.
Yeah, sorry. Not only is it getting hotter in here, I have allergies really bad, so some consonants seem to be getting stuck behind the sinuses there.
I think Jim might be the only one that's going to purchase any Artcasters.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's buying anything here.
But you know what? Something interesting. This might send us off into a tangent, but I just watched this video, and this is something I wasn't really even aware of, but it makes sense now that I listened to it. There's a video that came across my feed, and it's all about how Gen X is totally ignored by like marketing agencies and things like that is just skipped over. Everything's either millennials or boomers or Gen Y or whatever, and like Generation X is just skipped over. So that could be why these wax packs are doing well, because there's not a whole lot of people that are marketing, which I think is kind of weird, because to me, I see a bunch of stuff. I see all the retro, all the reaction figures and things like that. So I tend to see marketing, but this is all niche stuff. This isn't like big brands like Coca-Cola isn't marketing towards like Gen X and that type of thing, which is just something interesting that I wasn't really quite aware of. But
yeah, I kind of recently heard some of these stats too about that,
mm-hmm.
and then I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, obviously we're Gen X, so the algorithm is going to feed us a lot of that stuff, right? So I was like, okay, they're probably feeding us that stuff. But then I remember, like when like BuzzFeed and sites like that were newer and like kind of popular, and there was like, you're a '90s kid if, and then I was like, all that stuff's from the '70s. You're not a '90s kid.
Yeah,
you're a '70s kid.
Yeah.
So and then my daughter is the youngest you can be as a Gen Z person, and she likes all Gen X stuff.
Yeah.
They're really into Gen X, man. Like the high schoolers too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because my daughter's going to high school next year, so they're just like a little bit older than she is, really. And I asked her, I'm like, how come you like all my stuff? And because half the stuff my parents liked, I was like, all right, lame. But she goes, because they don't make anything good anymore. That's all she told me. And all her friends, like one of her best friends, they're 14 years old. My daughter likes more, obviously, probably because she grew up with it, but more my kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
But related to it is one of her best friends likes all the hair metal stuff, and her friend's favorite band is Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really? You like Def Leppard? And I'm not saying it like in like they're lame kind of thing or anything. I'm like, wow, that's something. You know what I mean?
You wonder if the hair metal will make. I mean, there's been things like Steel Panther and stuff like that, but you wonder if that will actually come back around, because it's just so.
The best resurgence of the hair metal thing was The Darkness. I don't know if you guys remember that band.
Oh yeah,
that guy has an amazing YouTube channel too.
Oh yeah.
So metal, classic metal is very big right now. But
classic metal is.
Megadeth came out with their very last record. It's actually good. I haven't cared about Megadeth for about 20 to 30 years, and they got a good record. All these classic, Anthrax has a record coming out this year. Exodus, all these classic bands, but they're like the more underground thrash bands that always hold on longer than the pop stuff, right? But Motley Crue's still touring. The Scorpions are touring.
Oh
yeah. Metal's real. Our era metal is really popular right now, but I think it's with Gen X and their children, not millennials. I think we bring our kids to the show,
right?
For the most part, So there is a younger crowd coming up. I guess that was my point. There's a younger crowd that likes our stuff. Like my daughter went to a sleepover and they watched all these movies they liked when they were kids, which are of their generation, like Moana and God, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. I watched that, but everything else is like Gremlins and Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice and stuff like that. So they're out there. There's a crowd. There just might not be they're our age and our children, I guess.
Jim says Gen X gonna give it to you.
Oh, R.I.P.
Oh man, Rough Riders for life. Oh man, I'm excited though, Scott. Like I've been on a Wu-Tang bender lately, because they had I didn't know this, but the RZA made a terrible TV show about the Wu-Tang.
Oh really?
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
It's kind of awesome. It's kind of horrible, but it's kind of awesome. like there's points in it where it becomes like a bad kung fu flick. It's kind of amazing. I love that show. But anyhow, it got me on this whole thing of like listening to all the solo albums and like just going back to that era where they just dominated all of hip hop for like 3 years.
Let's strategize what your favorite Wu-Tang solo album is, because I got mine right away.
Iron Man. No doubt.
Liquid Swords.
Oh, Liquid Swords is right up there. Yeah.
But that's a good one too.
Yeah.
What's I'm trying to think.
And don't you mean Liquid Swords? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My father told me. What were you gonna say, Scott?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Who's is it who's the one that does all the collabs with damn it.
Raekwon?
No. With is it Jizza? Who does with shoot. Why am I drawing a blank?
The RZA does all the movie stuff.
No, yeah, no, the more nerdcore comic stuff.
The RZA.
Is it RZA or is it?
RZA's pretty hardcore comic, but
Okay.
Method Man gets pretty comic nerdy too.
Yeah, but I'm just drawing a blank from KMD. The what's when he rebranded himself? Damn it! Why can't I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. He's not Wu-Tang, but
MF Doom.
Oh, MF Doom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Ghostface, right?
Yeah, Ghostface.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, Ghostface Killer. Yeah, it's good times. So good. But anyhow, so that got me thinking about your comic a lot, though, because I was thinking about like how brilliant what the RZA setup was, because he just hit this niche where it's like people like hip hop and they like kung fu.
Yep.
Like, and merging the two was like a genius idea, you know? It's just like the corny beauty of like a B kung fu flick with like the awesomeness of hip hop. And it's like, so I was just saying, like, it made me think of your story, because it's like, yeah, doing like mechs and hip hop, it's like it's a great. I think you're going to get a lot of buy-in.
I think
Scott, when you do it.
Part of Scott, your strategy is to get the RZA and the Jizza.
Yeah.
On one of your videos, and they can do like they did in Coffee and Cigarettes, and they can go, "I got a bag of items for you, Scott Circlin."
I don't. I mean, it's not like that. I haven't thought of that. When I get further along, where I actually have something visual to show, you know, I might just send us some mini comics out or something. You know.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
get to anyone, but
we talked about it before, but
because I think they would totally dig it. I don't. I mean, if I could get it to them, you know.
I think you can. I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Because I found out through not only Big Illustration Party Time, but also my time in bands, where I was like, "There's no way I can get in touch with this person." Be like, "Hey, I'm in this little shitty band. Would you?" And I always did, or got in touch with somebody who was their management or something. I always got in touch with somebody, and always got because they're just people too. And it was
Kevin will remember this when I was in Portland too. I was doing gig posters for a little bit, like event posters, like the kind of high quality ones and stuff. And like it is shockingly easy to get a hold of bands.
Yeah. And I think even like, you know, in my heyday, we were very easy to get a hold of. You know, some kid would be like, "Hey, I got this zine," and at the time when people were reading magazines, I remember this one. We were in Spin magazine, which seemed like a big deal at the time. And then some kid had a high school zine, and we were more excited to do his. And we're like, "Yeah, we'll get you into the show for free, and you can interview us."
Yeah.
So I mean, I was no, you know, member of the Wu-Tang or anything, but.
Well, in the law of averages, there's so many members of the Wu-Tang, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, you could always get like the side family, you know, like yeah, exactly.
I bet you. I'm gonna make a. No, I've already started it in public. I want to try to get DMC because he loves comic books.
Oh yeah. Oh,
on the Artcasters.
Dude, I've mentioned DMC in my book too, in 2 stories, so
All right.
that would be sick.
Perfect. Okay.
He's why I bought Adidas in the 80s.
He's a not only is he a hip hop legend, he's a comic book geek. He's got a fictional comic book about him. He also likes punk and metal. And I recently saw an interview where he's wearing a Minor Threat shirt and he was talking about heavy metal.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
wearing,
Well,
wearing a punk shirt.
The thing that I think works with something like that is because everyone wants DMC on to talk about Run DMC and hip hop history and all that stuff. And he's talked about that so many times with so many people, he'd probably be more down to talk to somebody about comics, or other music or whatever,
My angle is going to say is going to be that these are who we are. This is what we do. This is, because it all ties into what he likes and what he does. And we're going to talk about being creative in what you do. And I bet, and then, and not just comics or music. If it goes music, fine. If it stays comics, whatever. But I'm now that I've said it in public, I'm going to hunt down DMC and get him on the show. I don't know how long it's going to take. But
especially since he's got his own comic and all that stuff. I mean,
I'm loving it.
Anyway, I'm going to make that a challenge for me to do. There you go. There's another project. But it's nothing that hasn't been done, that Josh and I haven't done, or I haven't done in bands before. So
yeah. Well, even when we used to, I mean, gosh, like I remember when we were starting in illustration, it's like we always did episodes about like queries, because like I would literally just query like Random House or like Scholastic, and it's like they're never going to respond to this. And then every once in a while, you'd have one that you felt like was way out of your league that's just like, yeah, we'd like to hire you. And you're like, really? Okay, cool. It was just an email. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when we were doing the Big Illustration Party Time podcast, there was times where, we brought it up on Artcasters, even where there was like, I think we can get this animator on.
Yeah.
Or I think we can get this person on who doesn't know us from Adam. And they're popular. We brought it up before. And next thing you know, like they're on. Yep. They're on the show, or we're at their house or something, Yep. So it's
all possible. I love it.
So we're gonna get DMC to help Scott get
Scott. I do love the idea of you also get with local hip hop stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like events and stuff. I mean, when gosh, this is like so long in the future, but there's so much possibilities with that too. Just get booths at hip hop events,
For sure, but at least right now, it's just it's kind of an idea.
Yeah,
I need to have. I mean, I can show them the cover that I did and all that stuff, but there needs to be more.
You need the product
more fleshed out. Yeah, something that I can actually show people.
Excuse me.
We basically, in a long-winded way, have come across a lot of great ideas. Also, key idea. We gotta make some of these things first.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, my biggest reason to bring it up was just I'm just curious, really, to see what you guys think about as far as like the long term, if there is one or not.
I think it's important to daydream too, because we've talked about this, but it's like you have to be able to kind of like visualize. What is this book going to look like? What's it going to look like at a bookstore? What's it going to look like at a booth? Right. Like when somebody's reading it, what do the spreads look like? Like having that reality connected with it is really, even though it's not reality for a while, I think that's really important,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
and daydreaming about action figures, man. I again, even with Duck Cop, I would love a Duck Cop action figure. This needs to happen.
Yeah, it's, and again, a lot of this, why I'm like, I want to do this and have this music and blah, 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 and the cartoon and this and that. One, I'm lucky because there's a lot of stuff I throw away that's, I think, still good for something else.
Yeah.
And is not like a big time suck to just, spend. Because like when you have done your music and the stuff you've sent me, And I was asking, this is months ago, but I was like, how are you getting so much done? And you're like, I just do like 15 minutes a day. And the next thing you know, you got a record,
Yeah, I got to get back on that.
and
It's so
I
fun.
think what people who maybe don't listen to exactly what I listen to, they don't understand that the songs are like a minute and a half or 2 minutes long. They're so fast, not my cartoon music, because that's all like spaghetti western, but the other stuff. So it's not like a big time suck. It's actually a nice warm up to actually have a product with when you're done.
It's going to be great to hear some music from you, though, Kev. I'm excited about that.
Oh, I am too. It's fun. I haven't done like a real like hardcore punk thing for quite a while. So
Well, when we've talked about this, it's like I think that as a creative, music is part of your soul, and so if you kind of don't feed that, it's almost like a part of you dies. So it's like,
no, it's true, man.
yeah,
Because I mean, I always liked comics and all that kind of stuff, and I always, I was drawing and things like that as a kid. But I've said it several times, and music was number one for me, and I still feel it.
yeah,
It was always number one, and I luckily got it to work for a while. And I don't expect it to work. I just want a little satisfaction, So it's important to me, So, I mean, so is finishing a cartoon, but so I've had so much fun making the music, and that's it. It's like I got all these riffs now that don't fit the cartoon. I want to put them somewhere. And I was messing around. I'm like, this one's metal, this one's punk, this one's thrash, this one's that, and they all fit together on the same record. I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And it's I think one of those things. It's just like 15 minutes, and then I get on to the cartoon or something.
Yeah, no, I actually, you just hearing you talk about it makes me realize I need to get back to it, because that was really fun doing that. And we're still doing like the No Saboteurs stuff every Sunday.
I was going to ask about that.
And a funny little catch to that is there's a teacher out here who has a drum set, and then another teacher who does vocals. And Patterson and I always have done vocals just out of necessity.
Yeah.
And so the idea of just playing guitar and letting somebody else do the lead vocals is so fun.
Yeah.
Because we could do so much cooler, like thrashier stuff. So, because there's stuff I just can't do vocals live with that I can play, but I can't sing and play.
Right.
And so that would be so exciting. So we're apparently cooking that up for the summer too. I don't know what that's going to be called, but I'm excited about that. Because that's potential gigs like locally too. Because the No Saboteurs thing's been tough because our members are everywhere,
Right.
So.
The just real quick, a little bit off topic. The singing and playing was pretty daunting for me when I started doing it, and it's one of those things also where if you only do like 15 minutes of it a day, it becomes real easy.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like riding a bike. It's not one of those things you lose, or I haven't somehow. So anyway, I encourage you to try it, because it sucks at first. Like your first 2 weeks, it sucks, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, cool. So speaking of music, I saw out of the corner of my eye over here, I saw something about Castle Rat. They are a great band, and if you like Underboob, they're even better.
Nice.
And Wasp. Wasp before punk rock was, and is still actually, a band that I really like, that was associated with hair metal, but I think they transcend hair metal.
I saw them with Kiss back in the 80s.
I never got to see them, I don't think. For some reason, something tells me I did, but I don't remember. Black Sabbath, of course, the best band in the world. Alice Cooper, I see.
Local.
Vinny from Surprise. Alice Cooper.
Is that his real name?
His real name's Vincent. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
In the
I think I know
60s, he
that.
used to be in a band called the Spiders that
Nice.
you can get reprints of on like 45, 7 inches.
Neil Gaiman wrote a comic with Alice Cooper for Vertigo back in the 90s.
Really?
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Well, I want to check that out.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
What was the name of the other band? I liked Wasp. I used to have on vinyl, and in my punk years, I went through this weird phase where I was trying to be a young kid finding my new identity, and I got rid of stuff I shouldn't have, like the Wasp. The Wasp F Like a Beast first 12-inch single with the picture of Blackie Lawless with the cod piece. That's the circular saw.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I wish I didn't get rid of that. I know it's easy to find reprints of and stuff, but
that is a dumb stage. I had the same stage, and I regret that that's a part of the scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I did it with so many bands. Sorry, what did you say, Josh?
I was just saying it feels like that was kind of a part of the scene. It might have just been a part of being a teenager, but it's like,
yeah,
I think it's unfortunate to get rid of all the good stuff just because it's not fitting a genre. It's like the least punk thing we could have done.
Yeah, but I also think it's like we were talking before we started. It was that
rite of passage,
like being young and trying to like find where you fit in. These are my people. I'm a punk, or I'm a metal head or whatever. Instead of being like, I'm a rock and roller and these both fit in and they're both kissing cousins. So who cares? You know, I traded in my long hair for spiky hair, and now I can't have either one because the hair on top of my head doesn't want to grow.
Mine just wants to be an afro, so I just have to keep it cut because it doesn't go long well. There's
can you get like a nice 70s, like, can you pick it round?
Oh, I was getting so close, dude. Like I was like almost Bob Ross like a couple weeks ago before I cut it. And yeah.
Dude, I want to see you do that before this world ends.
The new goal, Kevin, is I'm doing less trimming on this guy, so I might ZZ Top this business just for no reason, you know.
Do you guys remember the movie Ice Pirates?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they get old and their hair is like out to there and they got big beards? If you could like somehow round it perfectly around,
I love that.
I
love that.
I mean, just once.
I'm liking this idea, Kevin.
Just for like a couple days.
I mean, you do
I think we're at that point where we should start playing around with like,
yeah. Well, BIPT, we did the Lemmy back in the day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I did the Lemmy for a week, and then I did the Cop Stash for like a good week.
I almost because if I put this down, it's almost Wilford Brimley, but I can also make it look like a scumbag, and I almost cut this today.
Nice.
But then I was like, I thought I had an hour before the show, so maybe I might do it. I think looking like a scumbag now is like, don't be one, but like it's a good look, man.
Do you remember the Kids in the Hall episode that was about the beard? That like
the beard.
It's like this guy gets a beard, he starts getting all obsessive with his beard and stuff, and like
I don't remember
him on dates and stuff, and then he goes to like a hair place and his beard like jumps off of him.
Oh,
and,
I don't remember. I used to watch that show like crazy.
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all.
There's like a sequel episode too where it's a toupee that does the same thing. It like gives the guy some like strange like obsession, and both are filmed like an Orson Welles film. They're so good.
That sounds good. I love Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, that was a good great theme song too.
Yeah. Let's see.
How are we doing? How are we doing in chat?
Yeah, so I Want to Be Somebody's like one of my favorite inspirational metal songs. Speaking of Wasp. And back in the day when I was like really going punk is when their I'm Blind in Texas came out, and I hated that record, and now I love it. Yeah, I guess we're done strategizing now. We're just talking about cool metal bands.
Yeah, I
Well-
had a stage of hating almost everything hair metal because it's just kind of like being a teenager in the early 90s. It's kind of like, I don't know. We used to call it butt rock.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
called it butt rock too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Pitch Black started off as a joke band, and it wasn't going to be serious at all. It was going to be a hair metal cover band, but we were going to do hardcore punk versions of it. And Pitch Black became a very serious band that was all gothy and stuff, you know. But for our first two practices, we did Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue as a punk song, which is almost punk anyway, just because it's like so easy to play. And I can't remember what else, but our band name was going to be the Butts, the Butts, because we're just going to play hair metal covers.
I love that so much.
Yeah, but then we were like, there was something we got stuck on, like a Dio song or something, and Dio's not hair metal. Dio's just great.
Yeah, Dio's excellent.
And not to say, because I do like some hair metal stuff that I liked back in the day too. I recently discovered that I still love Rat and Dokken. I like a couple Dokken albums.
Dokken is so over the top. It's kind of like addictive.
Dude.
Like I kind of like Dokken too, actually.
Yeah,
You know, I like those two.
They get operatic, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why I like them, because like other than their few songs, like lyrically, they're cheesy.
Yeah, they're horrible, but like kind of wonderful.
Yeah, they're like so. They're almost such the stereotypical hair metal band of that time that they're like a parody of it.
Yeah,
that makes them like fun.
It almost transcends the genre.
Like Dylan asks, are there any Pitch Black songs on streaming? Or it's on Spotify, but it's a long story. But there's a hip hop band called Pitch Black Law, and all our songs got put under their Spotify thing. The long story is that we almost got sued for our band name, but we ended up being first, and it ended up being their label and not them. And they turned out to be very nice guys. But so I don't mind being clumped with them, because we wanted to go on a tour with them at one point. But for some reason, Spotify has put all Pitch Black stuff under Pitch Black Law, the hip hop band. So if you find that, listen for the punk stuff. And then I'm sure it's on YouTube. I know there's a video. We did a rock video once that's on YouTube.
The albums are on Apple Music too. You can purchase them. From what I remember.
So we were on.
It was a long time ago. So
right. So we were on Lookout Records at first, and Lookout Records is out of business, and so actually we own all the rights to put out the first stuff again, and I have it because we haven't been able to track down one of our original members because I don't want to just do it. You know, but our first album is self-titled. It's got like a ghoulish, skinny painting of a woman, or a like holding a gross heart. It's got Frankenstein stitches all over it. For you comic nerds, the trivia behind that is me and Rick Remender were roommates at the time, and he did the sketch and I painted it. So that's a thing that Rick Remender did besides comic books. He drew the cover.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, like, he was an artist. You know?
Yeah, he was an illustrator for a long time. He gave me my first job at Marvel, actually, when I was still in art school. But see, now we're talking about Dokken here. Probably Tooth and Nail's my favorite Dokken album.
Yeah.
I also like Under Lock and Key.
Yep. I have both of those.
Dylan says you knew Rick. Rick is one of my best friends, Dylan. We were best men at each other's weddings. His took. He has a wonderful wife. Mine did not stick around. But yes, I was just texting with him today. Yeah, he's one of my best friends. So, hence why I did soundtrack music for his television show, probably. But and Rick's an old punk too. That's how we originally met, was through punk rock, not comic books or anything like that. Anyway, anybody else want to talk about metal or?
Well, I know. Before we close out, are we doing a new segment on this?
Oh,
that's true. Yeah, we need a show and tell.
All right. I was joking when I said it, but I did prepare one in case.
We need a little jingle.
I love it.
Okay.
Kevin,
Yes, one of our songs
and
is
tell.
"The Bride," Dylan. It's my daughter's favorite song that band did. It's not mine, but it's not bad. It's not as hardcore. It's a little more gothy. All right. You guys want to show and tell?
Let's do this.
All right.
Let's do Kevin's show and tell.
Okay. So, along with all the strategizing of all my projects tying in together, everything's got to be a little creepy, everything's got to be a little horror, all that kind of stuff. I've been just embracing who I've always been as an old man now, whether you call it a midlife crisis or I just strayed for a while. I don't care. So, part of that is, for the past couple of months, I don't know what made me start thinking about it, but I've been wanting to watch Salem's Lot. That freaked me out so bad when I was a kid, when it was on TV. I've been wanting to watch the miniseries. When it came out, like 78, 79, something like that. Been wanting to watch it really bad. And I don't do a lot of shopping. I don't buy things new because I know that there's a version that's like the European version, but it cuts out a lot of the American version and yada yada. But so anyway, I thought, well, it was a book. I'll just go read the book. So Monday, before I went out to work, I took a little stack of books that I'll never read again. I took it to Powell's here in Portland, which you can trade in your books and they'll give you some store credit. They used to give you money, but now it's only credit. So it was like, okay.
Great bookstore though. I miss Powell's a lot, dude.
And so I don't live next to the big one, but I live just up the street from one of the small ones. And I looked online to see if they had a copy of this book before I drove over there. And they did. So I went and traded some books, and I got Salem's Lot, the book. I started reading it last night, and I got through the prelude in chapter 1, and it's pretty rad. Still really want to watch the movie or the miniseries as it was on TV, because that's how it originally was in the U.S. In Europe they got a movie release that's widescreen. It's more violent, but I've heard that it cuts out a lot. Because it was like, it's over 3 hours as the miniseries, and the version that's out now is like $50 or $60. It's like super expensive, and I think it does have the miniseries version, but it's really like trying to show you the European version of it that cuts out all that time. And when I'm doing deliveries and things get slow, sometimes I'll pop into a thrift store. And surprisingly, sometimes, I'll find stuff for super cheap. I think last episode I was saying, like, sometimes I use the thrift store as like a video store now because it's cheaper than when even Blockbuster was around and stuff. And sometimes I'm like, I was thinking about this rare, weird movie, and they have it here, all of a sudden. So I was like thinking, like, hopefully maybe I'll run into it. And I just haven't. So I got the book. And of course, I'm a nerd. So I got the one that it's a new copy, but I got the one with the original painting on the front from the original first release of it.
Yeah.
So it's got like the kid in the window. That's the classic.
I dig the coffin-shaped window.
Yeah,
touch.
But like,
are those drapes that are making that shit, or can you tell by the illustration? It looks like they might be drapes that are forming the.
I think it's supposed to be, but no, they've stylized it. It's all black.
Okay.
But it's even got the adult guy who turns into a vampire later at the window and stuff. This was on the first pressing. So So I got this, traded some books, and a little bit of credit. So didn't have to pay for this. So far, it's really good, but I still want to see the movie. So anyway, yesterday, probably guess where this is going already. I went to this thrift store. I need some pants. All right. So, big part of my thing these days is buy used if I can, and I need pants real bad. And I recently found some, so I went at this one thrift store for just a couple bucks. They fit perfect. They're black Levi's. Somebody got rid of these things that would probably be at a secondhand store for like $50, right? Like one of those hipster places. Got it for a couple bucks. They didn't have pants this time I went in, but this was right there when I walked in.
Nice.
So for 2 months, I've been thinking about this, and I finally said, well, screw it. I'm just going to read the book because I can't find the movie, and I can't afford the new release of it. And so I got this for $1. I got no pants, and I got this for $1, and it's the American television miniseries as it was on TV that freaked us all out in 1978 or 79.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, that's this week.
That's cool.
2 months of thinking
it.
about it, and this week.
I love it. It sounds like it's like a karmic reward for reading the book, you know?
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna as much as the original plan was I just want to watch it again. I started reading the book, and so I'm gonna finish the book and then I'll watch it again.
I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Dylan
amazing.
says there. Wait. Yeah, there's a link to buy the album. Yeah, so you're probably watching that from Revelation Records. 2 of my bands have been on that label, so some good timing. You should do a watch along live on your Patreon, maybe, but it's over 3 hours long because I think it aired over 3 or 4 nights originally, but maybe. Anyway,
Right.
so that's my show tell.
I love it so much. Thank you, Kevin, for your show and tell. We need a jingle. We need a jingle for it.
Yeah, we'll have to resurrect some of the old segments from Big Old Treasure Party Time. We'll make little
segment jingles would be kind of nice.
Man, those were fun.
They were fun.
Remember when we did them all? And
a mailman struck by lightning.
Yeah, man.
Mailbag.
When somewhere I still have those. Do you remember the first episode we used them? Weren't you so proud of us? Because I was.
Oh yeah. Well, we were like, because podcasts were so new. I don't think most podcasts had any like drops.
Mm-mm.
And so it was pretty unique at the time what we were doing, you know.
Yeah, most of them sounded like AM radio because most of them were not just hosted but like also being produced on TalkShoe.
Yeah.
So it sounded like AM radio call-in shows.
Yeah,
a lot of them, not all of them, but yeah. Dylan, Revelation Records. Revolution Records is, I think, sends you somewhere different.
Yeah, Revelation Records has a lot of good bands too. So Kevin was among pretty good good bands there.
Yeah.
Kind of a movement at the time.
Yeah. They were pretty big at one point. Sorry, I'm getting my allergies are worse at night for some reason.
They get so bad, dude. Like and I don't
real bad right now.
I do not miss that about Portland, because in Portland my allergies would go insane. Like they go bad here, but like in Portland, gosh, there were days where I was like bedridden.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just like it feels like I have a cold all the time.
Yeah,
it sucks. But yeah, for back home in California, when I had allergies, they were never this bad, and they were during the daytime.
Yeah,
and for some reason in Portland, it's lightly during the day and gets real bad the later.
I think the pollen just like there's something about the night there. Yeah, because it was the same when I lived up there. It's like the pollen must, I don't know, there's some kind of weird pollen activity. So there's a conspiracy behind this. It's probably the pollinating, the late night pollinating.
Right now, every morning my car is dusted with a bunch of yellow pollen dust,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of pine trees, and my brother, who has terrible pine allergies since we were a kid, and I used to not have allergies until I got older. So my brother's like, well, you got all that pine. And so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it spits out all its seed at night.
Evil pine.
Yeah.
It's all a plan, guys. It's Big Pine trying to take down
Big Pine. Yeah. They already ruined Big Cedar. They took over for Big Cedar. You can't go to Home Depot anymore.
So good.
And people ask why I hate modern times. Don't even get me started on the Birch Syndicate.
It's all the secret wood cabals.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I'm starting to get the winkies. So I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody.
Yes, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for I was gonna say passing out. I'm not gonna pass out yet. Thanks for passing on through and checking the show out. It's probably all over the place. I'm not in my right mind. Anyway, I'm gonna say thank you everybody. Thanks for coming into the chat. Thank you for the lively conversation and going down memory lane with Dawkin and Wasp, and Castle Rat is a very good modern band that sounds like they're from the 70s.
Yeah.
So,
we forgot Corey's favorite Striper.
dude,
got you, Corey.
I have a story about Striper that I will save for another show, but you guys have to remind me. I went to see Striper once, and I got stuff to say about it. And I'm not just going to say to hell with the devil. But yeah, we'll save my Striper story for another time. But yeah, thanks everybody. Once again, you're on my channel. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Let's we'll give Scott the last word because he's got the last word.
So first, I just want to say, I think if you've been watching Corey's recent videos where he redid his studio, you notice that he must have got tired of all this comics because there's no yellow and black stripes on his new studios at all.
Dude, yellow and black attack.
I asked Corey if the whole impetus for it was that he was tired of me teasing him about Striper. Like the whole reason he built the whole new studio, he's like, I'll show you Striper. Anyhow.
Anyway, so is it me or did Josh already go?
If you haven't yet, get Jacob's Apartment, 2 stories in pre-order. Not Death But Love, the strange supernatural story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning from Turner Publishing. It comes out in September. Get the hardcover. It's going to be beautiful. It's Victorian seances, ghosts, crazy relationships, travels across Europe, opera halls, magicians. Get it. All right. Scott, where can people keep track of this crazy train that we're on?
Yeah, you can keep track of it by going to our mailing list. Just go to, there should be a link in the description of this video. Sign up for that. We don't spam you or anything. Basically, all we do is we let you know when the next episode is going to be, who the next guest is, whose channel it's going to be on, because this Artcasters thing goes back and forth between all 3 of our channels. So just to make it super easy, if you join that mailing list, you'll be alerted when that happens. In addition, you can check out my stuff at circworks.com, either one of my YouTube channels, Circworks Art Labs or Retro Art Lab on YouTube. And I wanted to thank the chat. And I also see Jeremy's in the chat. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? We got to get you back on the show, Jeremy.
Yeah.
But do all the things, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Maybe we'll just be here the whole time.